Bad Ideas Production, and today we're gonna look how I made a couple short films with basically no budget. Examine how I wrote it and directed it. When first making a short film, it starts. We have to start from the bottom up, right? So the first thing you do is write a script. So when writing a script, you have limitations such as money, and with me, the budget for all my films were big fat zero. Right? Don't get me wrong. I had a camera, but I didn't buy the camera. My mom bought me a camera when I was for Christmas. I still use the same camera that I had for Christmas like 7 years ago. So I'm using that camera, right? And then what I did invest in was a mic, $40 mic from Amazon. It's not even, it's a video recorder actually. See, and it comes with it's a video recorder, and it comes with two mics that I put on the person, and then I just record it from my camera, and then I sync the audio in editing. But we'll talk about that later. When I first go about writing, I think about who's gonna be in it, who's willing to be in it, who has time, and I actually let them know way ahead of time, like months before, because it takes me like a couple. Well, it takes me like for a short story. Mm, Kind of depends. For this last one, it took me like a week, 2 weeks, and then I told my friends like a month ahead, and I gave them all roles already. So I gave them like 2 months to get ready, and put those dates aside. This project is a little bigger than my other projects, but my first Terrace Christmas Tree, that was actually a bigger project too. It had one, two, three, four. It had like 7 actors. But when I was doing Flaming Trees, it was just me and my sister. It was only two, and we just used my house. And luckily, when we were shooting that short film, I was very fortunate to have the seasons change within 1 month. Because in January, California, it changes from sunny to snowy to it snowed that year actually in California, and to windy to rainy to to fall basically. Like it was every season we had in 1 month, so it was perfect for me. But you can't think like that when you're writing. Just write as if you had two actors, and then limit yourself to just that. Have good dialogue, and then figure out if you think it's gonna be too crazy of a thing, still write it. Make the script longer than what it should be. So for example, if it's gonna be 10 minutes, that's 10 pages, right? But write it a little longer. Write 20 pages, 30 pages, and then condense that to 10 pages and only put what you need in the film itself. So for the one I did this time, it's a little of more of an exception for the last film I did, because I literally just wrote it exactly to be 10, 11 minutes, and I kind of kept everything that I initially put, because a lot of it is improv from my family, improv from my brother, improv from my sister, and all that, right? But the settings are easy. I put what for my last one, it was two houses, my car, and two of my siblings and one of my friends. That's literally all it was. Oh, two of my friends, all it was. And then takes me back to my next point. So once you're done writing the script, contact your friends. So when choosing actors, you're really not gonna have a lot of leeway, right? You're gonna have, if it's just you by yourself, you know what you're capable of. You know how much you're willing to memorize in terms of dialogue. Can you memorize a whole monologue? Can you memorize 2 pages, 3 pages, whatever it might be? So right towards the actors themselves. So I know my brother's not gonna memorize a lot, so I give him little lines and a lot of improv. I let him do a lot of reactionary things. Where my sister, she's more monotone, so I don't give her a lot of expression filled dialogue, right? But then for me, I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to be more expressive. So I give myself that more by like, and I'm more of the leader in the frame anyways. That's why I give myself the leader position. I would never give them that position unless they want to, right? If they had that that personality, I would, but they just don't want to do that, which is fine. Work with what you got. So now when it comes to setting, you have to be aware that you're gonna take up, in fact, most of the room, most of the space, and you kind of want it to be empty, right? Unless your short film calls for it not to be empty. But you have to remember that when you're doing this, when you're shooting, that you have mics, right? And kids yelling, people yelling, it's just gonna seem off, and it's gonna be irritating to the audience. Because the audience, like if the movie doesn't look the best, like if it's on a shitty camera, that's okay. What they can't deal with is audio. The audio has to be clear, and that's why I started learning as I started making more films. That they would always tell me, "Oh, it looks good, but the audio." So I went out my way and bought, like a decent audio kit, right? And I even bought a mic for these videos. So yeah, I feel like once I got in a better audio, my whole video, like the production, went just catapulted up, right? Once you get the actors, you get the script, and then you just get the setting, and then you need before you even get to shooting, so that when you get to the place that you're gonna shoot at, everything goes a little more clear. What I do is I like to break down scenes, and I basically go through every this. There's only gonna be like 5 scenes, 6 scenes in your short script, right? So take each scene, put all the characters in it, and then break down exactly how you want it to look like. Take a little, like storyboard it essentially. And I just did a video about this, speaking about how you should short, how you should do concept art and storyboard. So right here, just draw little like stick figures if you have to, kind of know the blocking of each scene, right? So when you get there, you don't have to just um call audibles and just go willy nilly. You go in there, you have a plan, and then if your plan is not working, but at least you start from somewhere and not have to start from scratch, right? So do that for every scene, right? Put the angle, put what shot you want, how you want it, how you envision in your brain, right? If you're a director, you have to have preconceived ideas already of what it's gonna look like, and try your best to do. Because like when I did, I put the scene right here where it was me, my brother, and then my sister, and we're running away from the clown, and then my brother has to shoot him with a bow and arrow. In my head, I had that scene. Literally, I had that scene for like since the day I wrote it. I know exactly how I wanted it to look, and then I did everything I could to make it look exactly how it was. And the final product was exactly that. Now we did add some funny parts, like me and my brother's dialogue. Me and my brother's dialogue was more improvised, because we were shooting so much that we kind of got into the characters and started saying funny stuff, and we say different. And every time we shot, it was different. And then at the end, my brother started kicking him, and I started kicking the clown. And then my friend even added like, "Oh, bro, you shot me!" So like it was perfect. And as we kept doing it, we kept getting more into the characters and more into the reactions. Goes to my other tip, is that to do a lot of takes, as much as you can. If you got an hour in one place, make sure you do as much as you can within the hour. Don't call it early. Do as much as you can, because if you stop at one scene and it looks good, I imagine you could do it one more time. It look great. It look good. It'll go from good to great, and then great to phenomenal. Another thing. So now, once you start shooting all that stuff, once you got the storyboard, once you got the script, once you got the actors, once you got the setting, and then you got to go to actual shooting. So in shooting day, make sure that you call everybody. Everyone's on schedule. Everyone, you're gonna have to work to to their schedule, because they're your actors, right? You're not paying them. You should not give them money, but if you have money, go ahead, give them some money. I give my sister some money, whatever, my brother. But I usually just buy them food, or make it worthwhile. Give them something in compensation, right? And even my friends, like, or make them a promise that in future films I give you a bigger role if they like acting. Some of my friends like acting, so I give them a bigger role, or just things of that nature, so it doesn't feel like a parasitic relationship, right? And once you're actually directing and in the thing, remember your lines. Make sure everyone remembers the lines. Right before you shoot, do a couple rehearsed takes, and then actually shoot, and try to make it as comfortable as possible. Try not to be overwhelming. Try not to ask a lot of them. Just be ready. Let's have some fun. At the end of the day, you're having fun, and it's just a good overall experience. It's not a job. It's cool. It's fun. It's lighthearted. Unless you have like a dark scene, right? Then that's up to you. But I like to do a little more comedy, a little more horror, so it's a little more loose within my sets, I guess you could say. Just try to learn from these experiences, because one day you can have a bigger set with actual, a lot of production, a lot of other people nagging on you. So right now, it's a blessing to have these little experiences and with your family, and you have these memories once you're done shooting these films, and hopefully it translates to something bigger, right? So we just did post production, which is writing, and then the storyboarding and all that, the actors, casting, setting, all that, right? Then on production, you shoot whatever, and then afterwards you're not done yet. You need post production. So in post production, you gotta get editing. You gotta get good at editing, right? So now here's some tips. I've been having the same laptop since I was in college, right? That's like when I was 18 years old. I'm 26. I'm 26 now. It just broke a month ago. I did upgrade. I have a MacBook now. I got some money now. I'm a little older. I got some cheese, but I got a MacBook. But I've been using literally a lot. about 90% of my videos were done in my old laptop with the same software I'm using right now called Clipchamp for Microsoft, and I'm using Clipchamp for Mac, right? And I love it. I have experience with it. But if you have experience with any other, if you have the money to splurge, whatever, but Clipchamp is free. You can even get it on iOS. So that's why I prefer using. I got good at it. I enjoy it, and and yeah, I have experience with it. So that's why I do to use it. But you can use whatever editing software you want. But cut corners, do whatever you want. It's editing. Editing. You can use freaking any editing software that comes with your laptop or with your phone. I used to edit with my phone on my videos, and then, or I used to have my friend edit for me. I used to do all my videos and then send it to him, and he's edited however you can. And then once you do editing, make sure that everything's cool, everything's good. The best thing, make a good thumbnail. And at the end of the day, we're just having fun, and this is just experience. And these are just my tips to make a short film, short, low budget, no money. Every time I would advise, every time you make a film, add something, right? Buy something, invest your money into, get a mic, or slowly save towards a new equipment, right? Lights, anything, right? Anything like that to help you further and get better production into these short films. Yeah. So these are my tips and bad ideas production. See you guys.